What are some of the things that defensively that you feel like weren't there tonight for whatever reason, and how do you kind of get back to what you've been doing on that end to start the season?
I mean, take your hat off to Utah. They have a really talented ball club of guys that really know how to play, high-level IQ guys that really, once they get into actions, it's multiple actions after multiple action after multiple actions, and they're all able to catch and shoot. Just our stick hands getting out early, trying to run them off the three-point line. They had 8 threes in the first quarter. So that's kind of tough, and it's always difficult if we're not being who we are in terms of getting defensive stops, but we're scoring. We're scoring enough points. We're not, being who we are first and foremost, and that's making it difficult for the other team. And so that's not anything that we as a coaching staff, we as a franchise enjoys, especially trying to change that tone, change that culture to be one of those physical teams where the opposing team feels us. But they credit them. They got on their home floor and they started spraying it, came out early, set a good tone for themselves, knocking down shots.
At this point, are you expecting to be able to get most of the guys back for next game?
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll check with our medical staff and see where everyone is, what's the status.
What needs to change to win on a higher level system?
I mean, we just got to be more together and the little detailed things, being good in transition defense, being good contesting shots without fouling, and everyone gang rebounding, not, coming up with more of those 50-50 balls. Always seems the trend is now, with us is we don't get a 50-50 ball. We don't get a defensive rebound. It turns into threes or one foul or something like that. So just those 3 areas. If we're better in transition defensively, if we're better contesting shots without fouling, and if we're better getting defensive rebounds, you'll see a huge improvement in us being back to where we were at the very beginning of the season.
Darvin, typically in the last couple of years, it just seems like AD is this guy who's said a lot, we're going to be fine. We need time to come together. After some of the losses this season, he seems to, at least in this setting, take that very hard. And I'm wondering maybe what you're seeing out of one of your leaders and in terms of his spirit and trying to capture it in the wake of how you guys have started the season.
I mean, we beat 2 really good teams in Denver and New Orleans. Albeit, Brandon Ingram wasn't available from New Orleans, neither Herb Jones. But I would say this, man, and write it, quote it, however. This may be happening now at the outset of what we're trying to force to be a culture change in terms of getting us back to being highly competitive on a highly consistent basis. But it's not going to always be like this. We're going to turn the corner. I didn't come here to lose. They didn't bring me here to lose. But there is a process involved where we have to go through tough times. Like, I want to bottle this up. I want to embrace it. I want to have it in storage so when things are turned around and we get too comfortable and we start complaining about some problems that are not necessarily even problems that winning teams go through, I want to be able to reflect on these times. But I don't want anybody around me with a defeatist mentality. I don't want anybody around me that's not competitive. I don't want anyone around me that's selfish. We got to be on the same page at all times through the good, bad, and indifferent. And that's all I can say about that. And that's not directed at AD. It's human nature to feel down about different losses and different circumstances that doesn't go your way. But at the end of the day, I couldn't afford to live without seeing the glass half full. I was raised like that, with faith, with God in my life, and I've always seen the glass half full, irregardless of the circumstance. And it is damn sure not going to stop now. We're going to push through this, and we're going to be